Hello, sweet friend. How are you? It's good to see you. So yesterday I posted a video on TikTok. It was based on a trend, and I fashioned mine around the idea of releasing inner child energy, held inner child energy. And there were a lot of questions on it. How do we do this? Or why would I want to do this? Or I want to do this, but I don't want to, let them go. And I wanted to make a video explaining what I meant by that in the TikTok post that I made, but also just sharing some of my thoughts and some of my experience with inner child healing. So that's what I'm going to do here. And I'm going to keep it pretty brief because I feel like I could go on forever about this. I lived a traumatic childhood myself, and I have spent a lot of time diving into the past, diving into the trauma, trying to process things and put things in their place, only to realize that that left me re-traumatized. And over the years, I have discovered other ways to release held energy that I have found to be just much more helpful and feel better for me. So inner child energy is something that we all hold. We can't get rid of it or release it. It's an eternal part of us. So our inner child spirit or inner child energy is the part of us that loves to try new things and is curious about life and trusts and believes in magic and throws a fit when you don't get, something you wanted, and is impatient and sort of all of those attributes. So you can disconnect from inner child energy, but you can't get rid of it. So I wasn't talking about getting rid of that, that part of yourself. What I was talking about was releasing the versions of your child self that you hold, that you keep alive in your mind. So most of the time this is done in a painful way. We visualize painful or traumatic experiences that we had as children. We visualize it on repeat. Sometimes we don't even want to, and our mind is just doing it. Sometimes we have an idea that a child version of ourselves is stuck in the past and they need our help and we couldn't save them. And that is also sort of that can also imprison you and fill you with feelings of shame or remorse. And let's say little you at 7 years old. So you at 7 years old no longer exists. It's just you now. You grew into you now, and that you is no longer here, no longer exists. But they do exist in memory form in your mind, and so you can pull up a memory and go back and sort of visualize yourself, at 7 years old. Sometimes these patterns in our mind of calling on the past and repeating painful experiences and re-traumatizing ourselves, they can really become ingrained. And that's the inner child healing that I'm talking about, is going into meditation. I do a lot of this work in my distance healing sessions. A lot of the work that we do together is sort of this joint meditation or a soul journey where we find versions of you that are trapped in your mind or trapped in spaces within you. And it's not that we're going into the traumatic memories, because most of the time they're like under a desk, or there's little 9-year-old you sitting huddled next to a tree, or little 11-year-old you sitting in the car alone crying, right? And that's what we get to work with, to then acknowledge and love them, acknowledge their pain, and then release them. And it's real energetic work. It's emotional. It's deeply spiritual work. And it's not energetically dangerous. It's just healing. It just involves acceptance. So that's what I was talking about in the video, is going inward and releasing those versions of yourself that really no longer exist in reality, but you keep them alive in your mind and they cause you to suffer. So it's not causing 7-year-old you to suffer, right? But you there. And so the idea of going inward and finding that little you that just needs that love, and then going through the process of sitting with them and loving them, and the you now that's so much more grounded and knows so much more and can hold space so well for little you. You get to be there with them and then work through that release. And it is truly a beautiful process. I would be happy to do a longer guided meditation for this sort of thing, but I find that this work is best done either on your own or in a guided setting. If you're interested in a healing session with me to do this sort of work, just reach out via email, or you can DM me on Instagram, and I'd love to speak with you. As always, I love you so much. Be well. Journey on, brave soul. One day at a time. All right. Bye.